Hello class, I am Jai. Today, I'd like to bring out a discussion around are virtual communities real communities with my teammate. According to Tony's view, communities could be defined as groups that form around essential will with self-fulfilling membership. As we all experience, people nowadays tend to connect online and make different social ties with others virtually. For example, during the special periods of pandemic, applications like Facebook, WeChat, and Zoom enables users working setting fully remote. But events have either been cancelled or have been pushed back into the not so foreseeable future. And yet, some people decided to celebrate their special life moments with their virtual communities on Animal Crossing. Birthday parties, graduations, weddings, and even talk shows have been moved into this cute virtual setting. Couchsurfing is another example of virtual community that brings interpersonal ties to real-world connection. The primary mission of the communities are to get free accommodations while traveling, interact with local people, exchange information, and carry out cross-cultural communication. Couchsurfing started in 2004 as a small community, but now has over 12 million people in more than 200,000 cities. Surely, these interactions between strangers would become social capital possibly as more of time, emotional intensity, intimacy, and transitivity is involved. But does this increasing strength of ties make these virtual communities real? I shared two positive examples of the virtual community, but does this always appear to be positive? I will now pass to my teammate Ray to discuss its impact.
Virtual communities have both positive and negative social impact. Through the internet, the communication between people is not restricted by the regions. As long as you have a computer or other electronic device, you can talk freely with people from anywhere in the world. The virtual community provides a greater place for network users with similar interests, experience, or similar professionals to communicate and share their experience with each other. At the same time, it anonymity eliminates the need for users of virtual communities to bear many interpersonal burden due to interaction in the real world. Everyone is equal in virtual communities. In the virtual communities, people can also learn a lot of knowledge and experience that cannot be obtained from school and family, providing people with a unique perspective and method of contacting and understanding society. In addition, the virtual community has the characteristics of convenience and interactivity which help the development of the interactive entertainment industry and make people relax in the virtual communities. However, when people encounter difficulties or setbacks in real life, they will escape to virtual communities and easily enjoy in virtual communities. Too much dependence on virtual communities will lead to loss of confidence in real life and divorce from reality. And the virtual community is not a safe place. People still face the risk of being bullied by other virtual community users. At the same time, when using virtual communities, it is easy for people to browse illegal or violent content. This not only fails to release people pressure, but also is harmful to people's psychology and make them more escapists. Furthermore, the information stored in virtual community is easy to be leaked, and personal information security is compromised. Now I will pass to my teammate to discuss the regulation.
To impose restrictions on the abuse and misuse of the online communities, some hard and fast rules are widely used nowadays. Firstly, several nations have enacted internet security law to regularize the behavior on the internet. Some other legislations, like copyright and marketing regulations, are also effective on online behaviors. To achieve that, governments gradually promote the network real name system to penalize illegal practices on the internet. This requires users to provide identification credentials and their legal name to pursue the legal liability when needed. In some cases, phone numbers and financial accounts are also required. In this picture, The global homestay website Couchsurfing requires users to verify all kinds of info to ensure the secure user experience. Besides that, legal agreements like terms of services are also commonly used by online communities. The person must agree to abide by that in order to use the service. Privacy policies are mainly applied to disclose some or all of the ways the community gathers, uses, and manages the user's data to ensure data security. Online communities can also set guidelines and clarify boundaries by their own community managers. They are responsible to make everyone know what is off-limits in the community and monitor comments, posts, discussions of users. Community managers have the power to remove inappropriate content, blacklist offenders, or close their accounts in serious cases. Moreover, online communities can apply word filters to automatically scan users' posts or comments as they are submitted, and they can automatically change or censor particular words or phrases. Parental control tools are also developed to protect children. For example, a parental lock can be used to limit the online applications children can access. Next, Jiayuan is going to illustrate other types of regulations.
Hello everyone, I'm Jiayuan. I will continue to talk about the rest of online communities control. Unlike legislations and explicit rules, the social norms are not formally written in the official documents. They are created and maintained based on people's common beliefs or expectations. For instance, posting more than twice in one day is rare in Instagram, but it is quite common in Twitter. It may be because posts in Instagram are usually photos and people may be fear of judgment from other followers. Hence, different virtual communities would have different norms, and the norms would influence on people's behaviors. Therefore, forming good social norms is necessary for governing those communities. Firstly, participants can be educated to improve their awareness of being moral and self-regulating. They would consciously maintain the environment of virtual community. Also, the participants who have good performance can be rewarded as the community administrator, so they could appropriately guide and regulate the behaviors of community members. As I mentioned before, the social norms are different from the laws. However, if some online behaviors have significantly negative impact on participants or even the whole society, the norms may be defined in legislations in order to make better management of virtual communities. In Weibo, a Chinese social media, a legal clause was published in 2013 that if the information is defamatory and has been forwarded more than 500 times, the announcer may be accused by victim and even be sentenced as it disturbs social order. Now I will pass to Elon and she will make an argument.
As to the question whether a virtual community is a real community, it is very much open to debate. Current research listed 4 conditions required to form a virtual community. Minimum interaction, 2 or more communicators. Most of the interaction is carried out in public cyberspace. At least a fixed member. People regard such a community not real because there is a lack of sense of belonging. Similarly, some people also viewed the virtual community as a pseudo-community due to the simulated interpersonal communication and interaction. Specifically, it is indicated that a virtual community's lack of the characteristics of real people's presence, tacit understanding, and face-to-face interaction makes it different from a real community. On the other hand, some researchers argue that given the real social significance of virtual community, it is a real community. They believe that cyberspace is undoubtedly a real social space, and people still meet face-to-face where the meaning of meet and face-to-face have to be redefined. That is, although cyberspace is not a real-world neighborhood, city, or country, it provides users with extremely real opportunities to establish a community and a personal identity. As far as we are concerned, We agree that a virtual community is not a real community because people's survival in virtual communities is characterized by their online identities, which can be fake. Those who rely mainly on online identity are regarded as virtual or even non-existent because they are invisible, and these invisible populations do not belong to any non-human group recognized in traditional sociology. The word cyborg is now used to describe those who are keen on virtual communities and more willing to communicate through the computer interface. However, in real communities, they avoid communicating with neighbors, colleagues, and salespeople. Actually, the answer varies from person to person, so it's a good point to consider your own answer, and we'd like to hear your opinion on this topic. Here are the resources we referred to, and thank you for listening.